Well, it's me again, and this is my podcast and my world, where I take you along on an adventure where we get to explore everything and anything that goes on in my mind. Oh boy, is it random, is it crazy, it's nuts, it's all over the place. So grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's have a good time. Good morning. Just sitting here listening to the sound of my really, really loud truck. My truck is so loud. Especially first thing in the morning when it first wakes up. It's so mad. It's like, oh my God, I'm mad, I don't want to wake up, I'm sleeping, I'm comfy, oh, don't do this to me. Oh, good morning, my friends. Yeah, wow. This is episode 55? Wow. How time flies. Can you believe it? Just about 5.5 months ago, I I recorded my very first podcast. So, I get a couple. I've had a couple now of people leave comments on my podcast videos, whatever you want to call them. And it just blows my mind. I guess they don't teach the definition of podcast in elementary school anymore. They probably never did. But I got this one lady, and it's alright, it's all good. I explained it to her, at least I thought I did. Hopefully I did. She's like, how come there's no picture? Because all you see is my eyes, And I'm like, well, because this is a podcast. Well, that makes no sense. That's not what she said, but I'm assuming that's what she was thinking, because she didn't reply. But that makes no sense. Well, a podcast, here's the thing. A podcast is something you listen to while doing something else. Just talk to my good friend Babs. She listens to all my videos, not just my podcasts. Well, a couple of them she watches. But she listens to them while she's doing something else. That's what a lot of people do. It just plays in the background. I have YouTube Red. I turn off my video most of the time. I'm not even watching what the videos are trying to show me or whatever. I don't care. I'm listening to the sound of their voice and the inflection of their voice and the descriptions and I'm listening to them talking. So, yeah, that's what a podcast is. It's supposed to be to listen to while you're doing something else, like driving or, I don't know, whatever people do. I listen to them while driving. So, that is what a podcast is. Well, I got this guy... see, what did it do? I guess it was about 3 or 4 days ago now. And he's like, I don't listen to he's like, I don't have time to listen to a podcast. But good luck with what you're doing, and you have my support. And I said back to him, I says, well, I greatly appreciate your support. But you can listen to my podcast while doing something else. You don't have to sit and watch a stagnant screen. And again, no reply. But it's like a podcast is basically a radio show. Basically. So, anywho, on with the show. I do apologize. I'm a little on the tired side today. I am not completely here. Very, very, very sluggish. I got a coffee in my hand. I'm addicted. Let's just be honest. I'm addicted to Folgers, because that's what's in my cup. You know, I've tried drinking a lot of different coffee over the years. A lot of different coffee. Different beans, different style of roasts, different... There's something about Folgers. I don't know what they do to it. I don't know if they add some special flavor like cocaine to it or not. But I like it. It just seems to be the Folgers Classic. Just seems to be the coffee of choice. I go to a gas station called the Maverick gas station. I go there every single day, and I get myself a coffee every single day. And it's just a drip, and I add my half and half to it, and I go out the door. You know, the funny thing is, no matter what what ones they bring on, or what combinations I use, or anything, I always end up with the house blend or the Columbia roast. I like that coffee. I like that style. I'm not sure exactly why, but it's smooth and calm and relaxing, and it's very nice. I absolutely love it. So I am going to make a quick little pit stop over here. I got a couple of things I got to drop off. I'll be back before you know it. As a matter of fact, my voice won't even probably skip a beat. But I'll be back in just a moment. Oh, thank you for that short little interruption. I'm back. Oh, it was like a split second. You didn't even notice. I did. Okay. Coffee is yummy. I am definitely addicted to coffee. I am definitely addicted. I've stopped drinking coffee for quite a while, and then I always end up picking it back up again. Just like an addiction. It's like those people that try to stop smoking cigarettes. I can put it down, and they put it down, and then a month or two goes by, and all of a sudden they just realize, hey, I'm smoking again. When the heck did I start this? It's kind of the same thing. I stopped drinking coffee, and then time goes by, and all of a sudden I'm drinking it again, and I'm like, I don't remember starting this again. So, yeah. As many of you know, I'm on what is called a ketogenic diet. Basically, for all those who don't know, it is a diet where you don't eat sugar and you don't eat carbohydrates. So basically like a diabetic diet, kind of. But diabetic diets, they just cut them back. They don't actually get rid of them. So I'm on a ketogenic diet, and I tried to wean myself off of sugar. Normally throughout the day, not a big deal. I just don't eat sugar. I have no craving for it, no desire for it. Just straight up cold turkey when it comes to sugar. But in my coffee, as you know, is very bitter, or it is bitter. And most people like to add some sort of sweetener or sugar to it. And the process of me getting rid of coffee, or getting rid of sugar in my coffee, was actually a very, very long process, because I'm so stubborn. You know, I kept saying to myself, we'll just find something else to sweeten it with. We'll just find something else. And we try all these different things, and we must have gone through about 5 or 6 different types of sweeteners, and none of them had any flavor, or they did, but they leave an aftertaste. Just weren't right. Just weren't right. So I finally just said, you know what, I guess it's time to go cold turkey on coffee. And so I quit drinking coffee. And about 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, man, I really miss my coffee. And, you know, why am I punishing myself for not letting myself have coffee? When coffee itself isn't the problem, it's the fact that I can't have the sugar that's the problem. And somebody suggested try keto coffee or bulletproof coffee. And so I did that. And it was good. Not the best, but it was good. If you had like an immersive blender or a regular blender, you had to really whip it up and get those oil particles in with the coffee. And it was okay, kind of buttery, but it was okay. It does definitely change the texture and the flavor of the coffee. So I stopped drinking that. That was the same time that I was so in my Bulletproof Coffee, I was adding creamer, because butter by itself, or butter and coconut oil by itself, just didn't give it enough thickness. And someone said, well, you can don't have half and half, but have heavy whipping cream. You know, you can have that. So I started putting heavy whipping cream in my coffee. And I like it. Just coffee and heavy whipping cream. I go heavy on the heavy whipping cream, but I like that combination, and it seems to be just sweet enough somehow that I don't miss the sweetness so much. Unfortunately, most places you go, either restaurants or gas stations or wherever you go to get coffee, even coffee shops, believe it or not, don't have heavy whipping cream. They have half and half. And most coffee shops don't even have drip coffee. They have Americano, which is basically, I think, something like an espresso that's completely watered down. That's silly, whatever. But, so that's when I made the real leap, and that's what I do. I had a couple of friends say, you just need to learn to get rid of the creamer altogether and quit doing stuff to your coffee and drink it black. No, thanks. I don't like, there's a couple things about black coffee I don't like. The big one I don't like is the texture of it. It's so watery. It's literally like water, tea. And there's no consistency to it, no thickness, no whatever. The other thing I don't like about it is the taste. It has this very acidic taste to coffee. It doesn't really matter what coffee you drink. They all kind of have that. So, no, I'm gonna have my creamer. But to each is their own. If you like that, it's great. The other thing I've noticed too is coffee shops usually don't do sugar-free. And if they do, it doesn't taste anything like what it used to. They have so you can go into a coffee shop and order a blended drink. So like my mom orders a Snickers blended. And it's basically a Frappuccino, iced coffee, but blended. And I learned that they have decided upon themselves, probably, to put some sort of powder, thickener, something in it. So they put the ice in, the coffee in, a little bit of flavoring in, and then they add this powder to it. And in this powder is a ton of sugar and like powdered creamer, but the creamer they're using is this weird thickener stuff, and oh my gosh, you don't even really know what the hell it is you're drinking. And the problem with coffee from a coffee shop is it's so sweet. I can take like 2 sips and I am done. Like I am finished. Oh, it's so intense. And it doesn't matter if you ask for light syrup or what you do. Sorry, I yawned. And it's crazy. It just, Americans in general, you guys have a problem with your coffee from the coffee store. You're not ordering coffee, you're ordering flavored sugar. I mean, seriously, too much. Oh, it's so horrible. Horrible. American coffee is so gross. Oh, gosh. It must be really bad coffee if you've got to add, a pound of sugar to a frickin' 32-ounce cup of coffee. I mean, seriously. That's about what we're looking at. Oh, gosh. And I've only noticed how sweet it is, really, until I started cutting back on the sugar. Start cutting back on the sugar in my coffee, and then I started noticing how much sugar they really put in the coffee. At Starbucks, they're the worst. Oh my gosh. I ordered this is a long while ago, but I ordered a caramel macchiato. I love a caramel macchiato. There's something about it that's just over the top. It's just the caramel. I love caramel, I guess is what it is. And so I ordered the caramel macchiato, and I started sipping on it, and I start looking at it and realizing the caramel is all at the bottom. They didn't blend the damn thing. So your first 3 sips of coffee is nothing but solid caramel. Oh my God. And then the rest of it is so sweet. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, just be totally honest with you. None of it makes any sense whatsoever. We clearly, as Americans, have a huge problem with sugar and carbohydrates. Huge problem. And I blame, in my personal opinion, people, so don't frickin' take me to the FDA on this one, but I blame sugar as the number one reason people are obese and have diabetes and heart disease and cancer and all these other things. I think it is because of the sugar that we put in our bodies. Not the salt, not the fat, not the GMOs so much, not the, all the other stuff, but I think it's primarily the sugar. You can take a look at someone's diet that's an obese person, just an average obese person, and they are on the typical American diet, which consists of a lot of breads, pastas, and soda. Or pop, for a lot of you weirdos. It's soda, people. Come on. Let's just unify and call it what it is. It's soda. Carbonated beverage. But I was watching, for instance, last night. I happened to be at the grocery store, and I'm standing there in line, and there's a guy in front of me. And we were talking morbidly obese. This guy was probably about my height, about 5'7"-ish, 5'8". But he probably weighed really close to 450 to 500 pounds. I mean, big guy. His shopping cart, no joke, he had, and I counted them because I'm a dumbass and I'm none of my business, but I counted them. He had 12 2-liter bottles of diet soda. Okay, that's insanity. Falls underneath the rules of insanity, and I can't believe I'm running out of time. This is crazy. Soda, hello. Why is it that big people drink soda and they don't lose weight? It's not the soda that's the problem. It's the carbonation and all the other it's added to it. I'm sure of it, but we'll talk about that another time. All right, y'all. You have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day, and I will talk to you next time. All right. Bye for now.
This has been a Graham's World broadcast brought to you directly from Graham's mind. So stay tuned because there's more to come.